Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you are having an amazing and beautiful day. Happy Monday to you and your family. We're taking a look here again at Luna and just making sure we understand best practice, big picture. Once more, just to clarify, I do analysis on this because I get so many requests for it, but also to ensure that you don't get wrecked and we kind of stay cautiously optimistic or aware of what's going on here with Luna because it's depegged for USD and it's essentially not in good shape. And we need to recognize that this coming back up to any level in which it was at previously is very, very, very low. Okay, please know that. That being said, I'm not a financial advisor either. I just love teaching people how to trade. I've been trading for over 15 years. So if you want to become a better trader, I've got a trading academy, community, and signal group. Link in the description below if you're interested. I offer discounts for third world countries as well as military. Feel free to message me if you have any questions. Again, all my contact information is down below, and I never use WhatsApp, just so you know. So if you get spams from some stupid spammers or scammers, don't bother responding to that. It's not me. All right. That being said here's kind of what's going on with Luna. Well, I think we all know what's going on with Luna, but generally speaking, from yesterday's review, it pretty much did exactly what we were expecting. It consolidated right at the support level here at 176 and continued on its merry way. Obviously, it came back down since then, but it's doing well holding this price point. So that's a good sign. And again, if we look at the volume, you can see the most amount of volume minus this, this outlier here is trending right here at about the current price action. So that being a volume support is also equally as happy. So once again, hypothetically, that should be the bottom for the most part. And when I say that, it really just depends on a lot of other factors. There's fundamental catalysts that we got to be aware of, things that could change this. And that could have been, in fact, what caused the price action to come back up. It was more likely the fact that it came back down to this Fibonacci retracement level of about 110 and bounced. That's a very common place in which the price will recover. It's rare to see a price action unless Bitcoin is misbehaving significantly below this lowest Fibonacci retracement level of 0.236. 236 is one of those common areas that the price action will consolidate down to in worst case scenarios. And then what we usually see too, and that's what we're seeing here, 0.382 and 0.5 are the next areas that you'll probably see the price action continue to consolidate. So we should expect some sideways action between 0.382 and 0.5, right? So kind of just right in this range here, and to translate 176 up to 230 is effectively the range that we could expect to see the price action. Now, can we lose this potential support right now? Yeah, we could definitely lose that support. The price could come down. There's no doubt about that. And if so, then it would be making lower highs and lower lows. All right, so we really need this next increase to be higher than basically 200 and no lower than 185. All right, so again, we're not in great shape here. The last 24 hours hasn't been fantastic, but it is pretty standard for price action to retrace after it's increased like this, based on the simple fact that profits are going to be taken. Because again, we got to understand this is working its way within the Fibonacci retracement levels almost perfectly. When coins do that, you can tell that there's definitely some large market movers causing this to happen. In other words, people like you and I, the amount of volume that we produce is not half as much as any of their volume, and they use these indicators very specifically. So there's a great chance we will see a bounce here, but once again, there is a probability as well the price could continue lower. Again, because at this point we are effectively still making lower highs and lower lows, and the last 24 hours, or maybe just say more so 12 hours, hasn't been fantastic. Okay, but again, if this is the bottom right here, and just say the price action bounces off 176, we'll be in good shape because we'd still be making a higher low in the larger time frame. So if you take a full 24-hour glance, you'll see we're making higher lows still. But obviously, if you look at the last 12 hours alone, we're making lower lows. So again, the smaller time frame, the lower you go, the less accurate you could say those higher highs and higher lows are, or the inverse. So what I'm getting at here is on the hourly, that's much more impactful than if we were to see that on a smaller time frame. I prefer to look at the 4-hour when it comes to higher highs and higher lows. So if we do look at this, you can see that we are still making higher lows so far. So again, as long as the price we don't get a close below 176 here today, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape to see the price continue to maintain that level or higher soon. Okay. Last thing we want to maybe take a quick look at is CD sequential. I know it's going to be a little skewed, a little weird when we put this up here like this. But we did hit a 9 here recently, so it makes sense the price is consolidating and or retracing right now. Okay, so again, if you're not familiar with my channel or just in general, TD sequential, it takes a series of numbers, and what it is basically taking, series of candlesticks rather, and it's looking at the fourth previous candlestick and counting up from there. And once you hit a 9, it'll essentially reset or stop. In other words, you can keep going past 9, but that's considered overtime, at least that's what I call it. And what it basically just tells us is that 36 hours straight, we've seen continuation of the upside. In most cases, again, there's outliers, of course. Cryptocurrency defies the laws of trading in a lot of cases, but what you experience is when you hit a 9, it's supposed to continue to go sideways or retrace from there. In other words, if this were to come back down, it doesn't necessarily have to come back down to a 9, but if it comes down to just say a 5 or a 6, it would still be making higher lows on the larger time frames, right? So if you look at it that way, that's essentially what the 9 will tell you. It kind of just tells you that there's potential for a reversal, just based on the simple fact that everything, in trading, it has to go up and down. It can never go in a straight line. So that's what's great about that. So in other words, what it's telling us here is that we're potentially, 1 4-hour candlestick. We're 4 hours into this potential downside of 36 hours. So we can expect more downside because of that. Again, support levels, etc. A lot of other factors are involved. So that's not the only thing you want to kind of look at. But generally speaking, when you see a 9 on TD sequential like we've seen previously, it will consolidate and retrace or go the other way, right? So it can literally still go both directions, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's overextended to the upside in this time frame here, in this first 36 hours. So the next 36, we can expect some kind of sideways action or potentially a downshift, so to speak. But again, we're still making higher lows on the 4 hour. We're still making higher lows on the 1 hour, with the exception of the last 12 hours, obviously. So again, we don't want to worry too much about the last 12 hours just yet, but we do need to acknowledge the fact that we do have a potential for further continuation of the downside. Let's take a quick look at TD sequential on the 1 hour, and we can see here we've gotten a handful of resets, but this is interesting. You see it comes up to a 9, and then of course it legs up again and goes sideways from there. So generally speaking, once again, when we see 9s, they're a little more consistent. If we see a 9 to the downside here, then the likelihood of an upside from there is greater. All right. That's just generally how they work. And again, they don't necessarily tell you that you're going to see a reversal, but it definitely helps kind of add to the equation and help you understand that, hey, this may turn around soon. And if it does, I need to be prepared and ready for it. All right. So those are just things I like to teach in my trading community and my academy, of course, and just for lack of better terms, I think that's an important indicator to be aware of, just to help us understand here. So big picture, Luna does look like it wants to consolidate and stay here, but we do have to respect the fact that it could come down further, considering the fact that it's only a few hours into this downtrend. Right? We could expect a little bit further. So I would say that if we can hold above 176 here today, a candlestick close above that, that'd be fantastic. That'd help us give us that average, that higher average. And let's take a quick look at the daily, just really quick too as well. And we can see kind of this resistance shelf right at about 190. So preferably a close above 190 would be great to get a nice doji candle right above here. That'd be fantastic. But again, we'll see definitely what happens here soon. But again, close above 176 I think is what we're ultimately looking for. That being said, I hope you learned something here today. Thanks so much for joining me here. And obviously, if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. I do offer military and third world country discounts also, so message me direct if you have any questions with that. I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you learned something once again. Have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week if I don't talk to you soon. Take care.